now. I just wanted it so.
What music are you playing? Can I go?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Good evening, everybody. This is Huge Pop, the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. With me are my other people, minus one, Nikki D. I hope you're safe out there. But we have Cody Cornett to the left of me, or to the right of me, whatever way you look at the screen. And below us is the Reekster, Rico. What's going on, Reek?
Going on, fellas, going on.
We're just talking. It's pretty cool because I'm in Florida, Rico's in Tennessee, and the Cornett up there is up in Buffalo.
Must be fucking nice for all your weather. Okay, that's my one F-bomb. I gotta say that way because I am in a chill zone right now. Chill zone. It is the damn negatives out right now with the wind chill.
I will say this, Cody, for Tennessee men, we are looking at some cold weather. Like I sent you the pictures.
Yeah.
We actually had at least 4 to 5 inches of snow just about in some places. Oh yeah, for you it's nothing, but for
4 to 5 inches, I would love that. I'm getting at least a foot to 2.
We're sitting currently at 47 degrees. It has been cold. In the mornings I wake up and it's 32. That's cold enough for me, and I don't imagine I could imagine doing what Cody does.
Oh yeah, 15 degrees in the morning. I was
be nice.
It is. So, of course, every Tuesday we try to gather around and shoot the shit and talk Monday Night Raw or the PLEs that we had watched this weekend. Fortunately, there was no PLE, but there was Monday Night Raw, second Monday Night Raw show on Netflix, and it was pretty cool. I thought overall the show I thought was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. So if we could just dive right into it, I guess that's what we want to do. Just dive right into it.
Yeah, let's go right ahead.
Can I change something before we jump right into that? Sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to ask. What do you guys think about SmackDown Tiffy cashing in?
Loved it.
About time.
I thought it was slick how they did that. Because it looked like she was going to, and then she was like, nope.
Do you think this will be their reasoning now to try to put that stupid briefcase at WrestleMania?
Why would you put it at WrestleMania?
I don't know, Scott. Why? Why would you and your brother say that they would put it at WrestleMania and not have it its own pay-per-view?
Okay. You want my opinion? My opinion it is an opinion, okay?
No, Scott, you're doing it wrong already. You gotta go. If you want my opinion, go check out Main Event Mondays on our YouTube channel.
Rewind it. If you want my opinion, fans, if you want my opinion, check out our Monday night. It's called Monday Mania. And then you'll hear my opinion on the first episode that was yesterday. You can find it on our YouTube channel. And I'm sure that you can find it. It's under Huge Pop Wrestling. Okay, go check it out. Click it, like it, follow it, subscribe it. Hey,
see, there you go. Cheap plug. And it works. It's on our own channel. We're in-house. That's all that matters. Synergy.
The reason why, and I said this on Monday Mania, because we discussed WrestleMania 25. And in that was the Money in the Bank. Had a Money in the Bank ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not a big fan of Monday Night, or the Money in the Bank ladder match, Money in the Bank PLE. I hate it, and it all started. I started hating it when it was when Otis won it during COVID. It made it a joke. It seemed to me it was the stupidest PLE I watched. And let's face it, why not? If you have so much star power on your roster, why not make it a Money in the Bank on a WrestleMania? instead of filling it with garbage. Because let's face a couple of last WrestleManias, it had been the filler matches. Who cares? You'd care if it was Money in the Bank, if it meant something, right? So I just think if you're gonna, it's just another thing though. Launch WrestleMania because now you have something else to shoot.
I will say, like, especially when you're talking about the COVID era where the Money in the Bank was just, it was a joke. Honestly, it was a joke, but I feel like it's not been terrible. Like if you looked at last year, it wasn't terrible. It was actually pretty decent, and I like it that they have their own PLE for that. Just so that way, when it comes to WrestleMania, I loved it when Seth first. I love it for that moment, which they could do it. I guess I see what you're saying. They could do that at WrestleMania, have the match, and then later on somebody could cash in. But it's pretty sweet, like Alexa Bliss, same night, Money in the Bank. She wins it, goes, cashes in on Nia, wins.
And see, that's the thing. You can't. I'm sorry, Sky. I didn't mean to interrupt, but it just you can't do a same night cash in at WrestleMania because you have all the different plans already in stone for WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Did I care that there was a same night cash in? I was on this show adamant saying that we were guaranteed a same night cash in with Drew McIntyre because it had been 9 years since that for the male side. It had been almost every single year, with the exception of Tiffy now and Asuka. Or not Asuka, Carmella. And Io, those three, Tiffy, Io, and Carmella, had held the briefcase longer than 24 hours out of 9 women who have won that match.
I don't know. I see what you guys are saying, but I'm a fan of. I mean, you could make if you put that on like the night one, first match. I got all night of night one, all night of night two, to possibly have a cash in, and I just think it'd add to that show. I'm a fan of it being on WrestleMania.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I have to agree with Cody on that, where it will take too much away from what's already planned for WrestleMania.
I mean, if WrestleMania and these 2-night pay-per-views, like for the Big Four, go the way they go, I have a strong feeling we're going to have an all-female night and we're going to have an all-male night. Because you now have 7 titles for the women, 7 or 8 for the men. Then you have, if you do Mania, now you have a Money in the Bank for each side. You're guaranteed 8 to 9 matches any given Big Four.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I will say this. One thing that Netflix did last night was I am a fan of. I thought I had no problem with it. We're supposed to have a 3-hour show. Well, the show cut off at like 2.5 hours ish. And people are just ranting, well, this is BS, man. Raw should be 3 hours, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, on USA, yeah, because you're filling a 3-hour slot. Netflix now, there's nothing after that, right? You have to click another live event. So there's nothing that you are. So the way Netflix is doing it, I thought was pretty cool. They ended it with, when they thought they should end it, it went 2 hours and 40 minutes, I think. I had no problem with it. A lot of people on the internet, TikTok especially, lambasted it. That thought it was stupid.
No, see, that's what I don't understand. Why are okay? let's get this straight for a second. We bitched when it was 3 hours. We bitched when it went back to 2 hours. Now we're in the sweet spot of 2.5. Oh, it wasn't long enough. Bitch, it felt like it again. Sorry for profanity. Again, learning curve. It's a big steep hill. Guys, we're now in the era of storytelling, where these shows on Netflix, especially or any streaming platform that's original content at this point, can go any length of time that they choose to tell the story. So Triple H thought that this week, 2.5 hours, it probably could have been less than that if, when we get to it, Penta didn't take as long. But, you know, it could have been shorter, but I felt like the pacing and everything being told that needed to be told to go on the next week was done well.
Right. Now, and the thing of, to piggyback off that, you know, the first episode on Netflix was all about the stars, who was there, who was in the crowd. This is the first one. This is everything you knew. But this one, this show, I guess I'm gonna regurgitate what I said earlier, or take back what I said earlier about this week's Monday Night Raw. This week's Monday Night Raw focused more on storytelling and storylines than the first show. So for that reason, it was better. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was better because it got storylines going, right? And the first one was more about, oh, look at this, who's in the crowd. Ooh.
It was more about who's here.
Correct.
Yeah, you were in Los Angeles, you had the celebrities, you had the superstars. It was the first episode on Netflix. Of course, we're going to treat it like this giant pay-per-view that it should have been and go from there.
Right. So we opened the night up with CM Punk coming to the ring, I think. Then Seth Rollins come to the ring, and then
okay. So I gotta ask to get into this segment. Your thoughts on all three of them announcing themselves for the Rumble?
Honestly, because that's what I did see, and that's where I was just like, you kind of we already knew you were going to be in there. You know, it's like, it wasn't a big deal. It's some people you're like, yeah, they're going to be in the Rumble, you know, like Cena last week when he announced it was like, yes, Cena's going to be in there.
Yeah, that was a given. Like, we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, but it was still nice to hear it because it's Cena. You know,
right.
This week it was like, when those three all said, it's like, kind of figured you were going to be in there. You know?
Right. They're just trying to hype up the match at this point because we got, 3 weeks of build?
And we were We were listening to them for 30-some minutes.
No, it wasn't that long.
It wasn't that long, but it felt like it was a long time.
It felt like
I didn't feel like it was taking that long, but my favorite part of the whole segment is Punk did his thing, and he's like, hit my music, then Seth hit, and then Punk leans into the middle ropes looking at Michael and Pat McAfee. And you don't see what he's doing for a little bit. You see Seth making his entrance. On the YouTube channel, they did an exclusive video or a short or something where they're showing CM Punk the entire time Seth is making his entrance, and you see Michael Cole and Pat McAfee on the bottom half of the screen start doing the whoa, and Punk's like, "Are you guys turning on me? Really? You're doing this right now? You're turning on me?" As he's sitting there in the middle row. And I'm like, I like it how he's on the mic. You know, I really wish this was Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. It was good. I mean, they all had great things to say. You know, everything that those characters would say. You know, and
oh yeah.
Then they were ready for a battle, and then Drew McIntyre goes, no.
Yeah.
I'll see you at the Rumble.
At the Rumble. So that was I just felt it took way too long to do it. You know, maybe it wasn't 30 minutes. It felt for me like 30 minutes. I was like, that is entirely too long to do this, please. I mean, but I do now. I have been watching some content creators, and they made a point, and I kind of agree with their point. Netflix isn't solely gonna get wrestling fans, right? I think Cody brought this up on the first show.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix has a variety of people that may or may not have watched wrestling ever before. So this is almost like a movie now, or a television show. I don't want to call it a sitcom because it's not. They're now, with these guys in the ring, those three of them, they're introducing characters, you know, and we got to they put on display their style, who Seth was, who CM Punk was, who Drew McIntyre was. So for that part of it made sense. It made sense to go so long. But for wrestling fans, us wrestling fans are going, come on, right? And it is what it is.
So, and see, and I think this is why I have a hard time trying to be unbiased, or at least I feel like I'm trying to be unbiased, because I'm trying to watch it as both a TV product and a wrestling product.
Right.
Because I went to school for TV production. That has always fascinated me. And I have always been fascinated with the wrestling business, so I've listened to every single, wrestling podcast, like, by the legends that there is, between Bruce Pritchard, Eric Bischoff, Jeff Jarrett, Mick Foley, JR, all of them. Obviously Cornette because of the name, but it's just, like, what they're doing on Netflix now is the same thing that Netflix does with all of their original content, and it is to try to grab as many casual fans of anything as possible. So if we can have a funny moment here and a serious moment here, like, if the show is, like, completely, like, if the show is eye-grabbing enough, it will hold your attention for the rest of the show. So with them starting with McIntyre, Seth, and Punk, and showing that heated rivalry between the three of them, which I'm almost guaranteeing that they're going to fight for the world title at Mania. That is the only way that triple threat is happening.
Yeah.
So...
Sorry, the only other way I see it happening is if for some reason in the Rumble, like, Drew throws out Seth or Seth throws out Drew, and then, Punk gets involved. They throw him out, but, like, Drew pulls him out. He's already out, and he pulls him out, and Seth helps him, or something like that. That's the only way I see that triple threat happening, if they screw each other out of the Rumble or at Mania for the title.
So, but yeah, that was the segment. They talked about themselves getting in Royal Rumble, blah blah blah. We knew that was going to happen. We'll probably in a couple of weeks talk about who we think's going to win the Royal Rumble. But now we have like 6 people in the Royal Rumble now.
8 in the men's, 1 in the women's.
Yeah, so I think we all know who they want to win the Royal Rumble. But so if I believe
it's going to be the guy that held that title. I'm going to tell you that right now. I've been saying it since October. It's the man that held that title.
Right. So I think the next one was the predictable appearance of Penta. Everybody knew he was coming. If you didn't know he was coming, that was the most overhyped appearance that got leaked out. And Penta came on and he went on and defeated Chad Gable via pinfall. Everybody, what's your thoughts on that match, Cody?
Well, okay. I personally want to know what your thoughts are, because you've watched Penta in AEW. You've watched Penta on the Indies. I've experienced him in both AEW and Impact. I've experienced him in Lucha Underground, where I thought that's where he was the best at. Like, you've watching him in AEW and watching him on this match. I know it's a small sample in WWE, but do you notice any differences more here than in AEW?
I'll start just by saying this. The match was very good.
Yep.
Of course, you got Chad Gable, who's a very good technical wrestler. You got Penta. Well, I love the lucha wrestling. But I almost felt like there was some rust. He was off for like 3 weeks, I think. He hasn't wrestled for like 2 or 3 weeks. I think. I'm not sure. But there was a couple spots I thought he missed, or he tripped, stumbled on. But overall, I love it. I love him. I think he's great. I think he's a good addition to Monday Night Raw. I think WWE picked up a star. And I just love it. I love everything from his gear, from face paint all the way down to his action in the ring. Solid performer. Solid performer. AEW missed the boat by letting the guy go. Or if he left on his own accord, whatever.
Yeah.
I think he's going to shine in WWE. I don't know quite yet what he's going to do, but I think you're going to see a championship belt around his waist one way or another somehow. So I like the match. I thought it was solid. Now I watched some Lucha Underground now. That's just crazy stuff.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Now that? No, I didn't see that last night.
So
I seen a very, very, very small part of that last night. And I will say this: I also watched New Japan Wrestling this weekend.
Okay.
And those boys can go too. I mean, I'm sorry, they put on a good show.
Not my cup of tea for whatever reason. I wish it was. Like, I'll watch it if Zack Sabre Jr.'s on the card, because I love Zack Sabre Jr., but other than that, New Japan is just not my cup of tea.
So Lucha, I mean, Penta, he was good. I liked it.
I was going to say something huge about. I honestly didn't think I'd ever say this, but because I never watch it, so I was like, let me give it a chance, and I tried watching AEW a little bit. Now, I'm not dogging them. Like I said, they have good people. They have good stuff. I just personally prefer WWE.
Yeah.
And the indies. But anyways, Will Ospreay, Buddy Matthews. Freaking awesome match, man.
Okay.
Awesome match. I was like, wow.
And again, this is where I say to each his own, because I watched that match and I did not care for it. I again, and this is why I say it's like everything is subjective, which is fine, and I have no issue with that. Everybody has their own opinions. Your brother has beaten that into me, like the Lions have been beating everybody on the field. But it's just, here's the thing, Penta. This match did what it was supposed to do, but it took too long, in my opinion. I think this match could have been shortened by at least 10 minutes tops, and you could have gotten away with a lot less of Penta's moveset and let some of that build up, so that once he got used to the ring style, most of his moveset wouldn't look like he's coming out of training camp. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, it looked weird. So now my question to you, Cody, I don't know this.
Okay.
Is AEW's ring smaller or bigger or different than WWE's?
Same size, different ropes.
Okay. So
everybody else uses airline cables, like through garden hose, practically.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The only company in the world, WWE, still uses traditional hemp rope that is taped up by colored tape.
Because when I said he missed, I don't think he purposely missed. I think he hadn't been used to you could tell he hadn't been used to WWE ropes.
Mm-mm.
Because there was just some spots that it was like, oh.
He's only had 4 months to train in the PC.
Right. So I was like, ugh.
So.
But what made it too long, if maybe you'll disagree with me, I think his promo afterwards made it too long.
That was fine. It was the match itself.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't think his promo went too, that promo. I don't speak Spanish. I barely speak English.
Facts.
I can't understand. I didn't understand what he said, but I believed in what he said. I felt emotion in what he said. I could, even though he's wearing a mask, I could see it through his eyes. I could see it through the way he was talking. I could see it through the tone in which he was speaking. And I felt something, and it's like, okay, I see Penta as a champion. I do. Main event champion, who's to say we've only had one match?
Mm-hmm.
But one match in that promo, I could see him U.S. Intercontinental Champion, no issue.
Yeah, 100%, yep. And
it's cold.
We have a plug to Hyper TV. I'm glad I got to Hyper TV because I was able to go and be more variety. I got to, like I said, got to watch the New Japan stuff, and I got to see a GCW live event. And that's just, it was pretty good watching that a couple nights ago. So So I'm trying to broaden my spectrum of what kind of wrestling I get to watch. So, but yeah.
And if anybody wants history on Penta, go watch Lucha Underground. Go watch Impact Wrestling when he was there. Watch AAA. If you really feel like the need to do it, go watch AEW. Some of his matches were good. Some of them were with the Young Bucks, so you know how I feel about that. But he's really good. He has fought Io Sky, Chelsea Green, and Vampiro, just to name a few, in great matches that you never thought you would ever say, but they were good matches.
So after that match, I believe was the Judgment Day backstage thing where Dominic was trying to kiss.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I forgot my one nitpick on that match.
Okay.
The Mexican Destroyer. That should have been the finish. The way Chad Gable sold it, the way the move was made, the way that they're trying to bring back the pile driver as this devastating move, and you made a guy flip for it, and Chad Gable sold it like the rent was due, and he kicked out at 2! That should have been the finish!
I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah. So then we see Finn Balor with Liv and all the Judgment Day, and Dom shows up with flowers for Liv, and they talked about, keeping it together, and I got lost with their jarble, jump, whatever, and I'm like, okay. It was a backstage promo. I guess that's all I can say. It was not one of my. It wasn't my cup of tea. I was like, I got up. Matter of fact, I got up and got more water.
Me personally, I feel like the Judgment Day are just being held down by a slight piece of tape. Like they're not as strong as they used to be.
Oh, and if you didn't watch the end of the show, they're not as strong as they ever will be.
They're being held by PFM, pure magic.
And the last match of the night was wow.
Really, you didn't like it?
I loved it. Oh, I loved
it. Okay, I was gonna say.
They got there. Yeah, we'll get there, but
we'll get to that. But here's the thing about that segment. I'm okay with everything in that segment, except for Liv and Dom. I've been a huge supporter of Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan in this entire thing. Now we're going to make Liv Morgan the bitchy, hot, her poop don't stink, like, yeah, I know. I know. I can get rid of you whenever I want, so go get my bags. And I'm like, no, she should. Oh my God, no! She should be like fighting Rhea for the title again.
So is she saying that? Are we gonna see down the road Dom getting pushed out of the Judgment Day, being disrespectful, being disrespected, and him going back to his dad for one last time to be with his dad?
No.
Don't think so?
No, we should honestly. And Trips, Papa H, Paul, Mr. Levesque, however you want to be called, Daddy. Will you please listen to this and just hear one fan out and make Dominic and Raquel Rodriguez a heel couple and beat the crap out of Liv Morgan. Just do it. It would make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of almost foresee, like, if it don't happen sooner, Dirty Dom against Finn at WrestleMania. They finally have fallen out.
For what?
Just
what would be the goal of that match?
I'm just saying, like, them two are going to go at it because he's going to end up leaving the group.
And who's the heel? No one cares about Finn Balor anymore, and Dominic can't get a word out edgewise for anything.
That's
Who's
the beauty.
the heel?
That's the beauty of it. I guarantee you have that match, and you'll see Finn turn face quickly. Everyone hates.
Yeah. Based on what happened at the end of the show, he better turn something quickly.
Man, I gotta watch it.
So then we moved into moved into Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser.
Match of the night.
That was a good match. It was. I mean, I love the ending. How there was a face-off between Sheamus and Braun Breaker. I love that. I love the idea of them going at it.
Well, good, because we're getting it in 3 weeks on Saturday night's main event in Austin, Texas.
We are. That was told to us. I just think that, again, this is not for... I don't think that match will be for Sheamus specifically. I think Sheamus as a legend is going to help launch Braun Breaker even more than he already is. So I'm excited about that. Braun Breaker's going to waste his ass. That guy, he's too good. But that match had everything I love about Sheamus. He must have smacked the hell out of Ludwig 1,000 times on the
Oh my god!
And that hurt like hell. It had to. So
the European style is so hard hitting, so well done too. Yep. They were beating the absolute living crap out of each other. And it was awesome.
As I was watching that match, I was like, oh my god, I have a new favorite move in wrestling now. 2 of them. Mm-hmm. I love watching the bro kick and the haluva kick. Those moves, man, holy shit. I did not ever want to be on the receiving end of that, for sure.
Right. With the forward momentum Sheamus gets with that bicycle kick, if you don't take that correctly, you're getting knocked the hell out. And it is amazing how no one has yet to do that. Now, my question is for the both of you. Do you think that Braun Breaker could lose the title as a tease to be like, we might have a new Royal Rumble favorite?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're on the right page. If he loses on Saturday Night Main Event, definitely you're going to get Braun Breaker as a favorite. Definitely.
Because then you can just screw the 3 of them and have Gunther Breaker world title, which I am all for.
And that if he does get beat by Sheamus at Saturday Night's Main Event, give Sheamus the belt one last time. Who cares, right? And,
this would be the first time he's held it.
Yeah, no, another title. He's held other titles. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but it's like the race between him and Cena. Who's going to become Grand Slam champion? They both are just missing an IC title.
All right. So now with that said, is that a shot in the dark to Cena now? Are you disrespecting Cena? Because that's why Cena came back. That's what everybody wants Cena to come back for, right? They want him.
No, everybody wants Cena to come back just to see Cena come back. But if he does stuff in the middle of that, like if he can get an IC title reign and break the record to make 17 and do this and do that on his farewell tour. See, I can barely speak English. For his farewell tour. Beautiful.
But if you let Sheamus do that first, is that taking anything away from Cena doing
it?
No, not at all.
No.
Nope.
Because I think Sheamus has done more than Cena. Cena doesn't have a King of the Ring win.
Right.
Cena doesn't have a successful Money in the Bank cash-in. Cena also doesn't have an IC title reign.
So would you see this then? I mean, this is just a pipe dream, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Would you see this at the end of 2025? Cena did this, Sheamus did this. Cena did this, Sheamus did this. And then Sheamus somehow goes after Cena to tell him, hey, I'm the best of the best. And then finish it that way. Could you see that kind of... Could you see Sheamus and Cena have a match of that storyline?
I could see something like that. And if Sheamus is Intercontinental Champion at the time, and if he runs it all the way to December, fine, whatever. But I could see Cena going out, getting that Grand Slam win as his last match.
Right. I mean, that'd be huge, right?
That would be awesome. That would put the stamp right on the whole thing and just be like, thank you guys, I did everything you wanted me to.
Yep, exactly.
Then we have Jey Uso challenging Gunther for a match on Saturday night's main event.
Okay, now I gotta ask this, since you're a Bloodline guy.
Huh?
How do you feel about Jay's promo as Gunther was leaving?
Refresh my memory.
He had this passionate promo about, I was afraid I was always going to be a tag team. I was never going to be a single, and then I had the confidence to go out as a single and do all this, and I'm still scared. And I have the self confidence every day to be me and Uso, and I want to be world champion.
Yeah. I mean, Gunther is magic.
Mm-hmm.
I think he like dug. You just put that stake in Jay by saying all this shit about the bloodline and this and this. I thought that was a magic promo. I thought it made sense. I don't like. I Jesus Christ. Whoops, sorry.
We all do it. No one's perfect.
Yep.
I think it made sense because I think now you got Jay thinking. I think that put the mindset of Jay going, oh, So I was okay with it. I think that works. I think it's going to work for the Bloodline. In my personal opinion, I think the Bloodline storyline is coming to an end soon.
I see this going for another 3 years.
Think so?
Easily.
But here's my problem. Okay, here's my problem with it going that much longer. NWO was good until it wasn't. Then they pushed it down our throat. I think Bloodline is good until it's not, and I think we're getting close to. I don't want it to be like an NWO where the last 2 years of this Bloodline is black. I mean, we're already there. We're already right. We're already black and white, red and black. Good Bloodline, old Bloodline, new Bloodline. So that's kind of it's kind of concerning me because I hope they don't fail like I think WCW did with the NWO Wolfpack and NWO Black and White. I hated that. That's when I lost interest in the NWO.
Well, no, finish your statement.
I don't want Bloodline 2.0 and the OG Bloodline to end up like that, I guess. That's what I'm saying.
So, I think this is where your fears will be unfounded. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to have OG versus new anymore. I think that's done. That part of it is done. I think what we're going to be going into now, and again, this is all me and your brother have been workshopping this for like the last 2 weeks. We think that it's going to be a combination somehow of The Rock having an authority stable, like an authority like stable, versus Roman and the Bloodline, as in Jimmy, Jay, and Roman. I don't think Sammy's going to be part of the mix anymore. But those three against The Rock and his three, which is going to be a heel-led Cody Rhodes as champion, and Seth and Drew.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe.
And it's not going to be family business. It's going to be business.
Strictly business.
So that's why I think it's not going to be a Bloodline family issue anymore. It's going to be a business issue, and it's going to go farther into the wrestling part of it now instead of the family dynamic and the family heritage.
Yeah. But no, I just liked how Gunther just trashed the Usos. And
yeah.
That was magic. That was just magic. Solid magic.
Do you think that there's a chance? Either of you, do you think that there's a chance of Jay winning, walking out of San Antonio? I'm sorry, it was San Antonio, not Austin, but San Antonio's world champ.
I honestly think there could possibly be a chance just because the Rumble's coming up. And so you would look more for Gunther favored to win it. Some people look at it that way, but me personally, I'd like Jay to have it. Just at least for a short period, if anything.
Right?
I think now I'd pop for it. I would love to see Jay get it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
Okay.
No, but it'd be awesome better if Michael Cole would get on the table one more time. Because he refused last night. He's like, Pat's like, come on, Michael, come on.
Nah, that was a one-time thing.
You're not done. I'm not doing that again.
He almost fell coming off the table last time, so he's like, nah, not doing that again. Nope. No call.
But I would love to see Jay win that.
No, see, and I would love it too. I really would. But do you think that Triple H would just take belts off of people just to make it look like, hey, we have new favorites. You don't know if Cena's really going to win.
Is that Triple H or is it Netflix? What is Netflix?
Triple H.
I think Triple H would pull that trigger.
Well, I mean, you just look at the, I mean, no pun intended, the huge pops that Jay gets.
Mm-hmm. You know? And the thing is, Netflix has no say in the show.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, all it is for Netflix is we turn on the switch for the broadcasting. That's it. That's all we do.
You guys do what you do.
Then we walked into Women's Intercontinental Championship with Lyra Valkyrie versus Dakota Kai.
This match was brutal.
Valkyrie won it, become the inaugural Intercontinental Champion, the first women's Intercontinental Champion.
Wait, who won it?
Lyra
Valkyrie. Valkyrie.
So with that reaction, I'm assuming you wanted Dakota Kai to win.
Well, neither one of them. But
Really?
I mean, Dakota, I don't have nothing against Dakota.
Okay.
Valkyrie, she's good. I'm not dogging her in any way, shape, or form. I just feel like she's getting pushed too soon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of feel like, you remember back when Vince was always pushing Roman, just trying to shove him down your throat, like, and nobody really cared for him. It's not along those lines, but I just feel like she's just being thrown out there pretty hard, and I'm just not feeling it.
No, I get it. I can understand that. I honestly think this is more of a make good for Lyra because she got her ass flattened by Nia's ass at Queen of the Ring. So, this is just Triple H going, sorry.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
Yeah. So I think after that we had Sami Zayn and beating the Miz.
We're not going to talk about the suplex spot, Scott?
Suplex spot.
In the women's match.
Oh, we can talk about it. Yeah, go ahead.
Lyra Valkyrie suplexed Dakota Kai off the apron.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was a hard smack right on the floor. That really changed the whole matchup, the way they were gonna wrestle, because they were both of them were really hurt, like holding their backs, like they were really hurt.
Remember that? Yeah. Yep. I remember that.
It changed the whole dynamic of the match, and I was like, holy.
Well, I thought I was. Yeah, I'm so. When you said table, it just We'll talk about the one that I was like, oh my god, was the last match, the miss, in the We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, that was a big suplex. Yeah.
That was just the fact that those two, and they, nothing against them. Again, like you said, Rico, nothing against them, but they are petite women, very petite women. There's not real meat on their bodies. So the fact that Dakota Kai took a suplex off the apron, like an actual good standing vertical suplex, off the apron and fell an extra 6 feet from the vertical landing. That hurt. I don't care who you are. That thing hurt.
I think Booker said it best. He's like, you gotta, to do moves like that and stuff, you gotta have some meat in your bones. You're gonna be injured left and right.
And she was holding her back like she was injured bad.
He had a match this weekend too. He was in I can't remember who it was. I can't remember who it was against. No, I think didn't he take on Matt Cardona? I think. Honestly,
no, we're not doing this. No, I already have. I have like 6 minutes. No, I can't. I can't add more.
Anyway, I think he did. So after that, we had Sami Zayn and Miz via pinfall. Sami Zayn was backstage to set this match up with the Miz and Karrion Kross. Blah blah blah. It was a good match. It was a match that it was all right. I mean, I didn't think anything great happened in that match.
Yeah, like you said, it's a normal match setup. The only real piece of news we got out of that was the first set of superstars to actually accept the transfer portal were the Wyatt Six. They are now officially moved to SmackDown.
Really?
Yes, it was during this backstage segment, a throwaway segment. By the way, Karrion Kross comes out of Pierce's GM room and goes, or Miz looks at him and goes, so, what do we got? And Kross goes, well, the Wyatt Six have been moved to SmackDown. And he looks right at Miz and goes, if I hear that you had anything to do with it. And I'm like, okay, so this is great. And then Sami Zayn was going to... Seth and Sami had talked backstage for a brief second, and Seth had told Sami, you gotta do things on your own. You gotta be your own man. So Sami was gonna talk to Adam Pearce about something. Don't know what. About something. But Miz had to open up his mouth. Like he does. And Sami's like, okay, I was gonna talk to Pearce about something, but now I'm gonna go in there and have him have a match with you tonight. And then, like Scott said, match happened. He won with a haluva kick that turned into a blue thunder bomb.
Yeah.
Like, very rarely does he ever win with a blue thunder bomb, but when he does, it means something. So it was very interesting to see that happen. And I don't know, like, my whole thing about that entire, like, put together, what the hell are they doing with Kross and Miz?
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
That's what I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to understand the storyline here. I get that Miz screwed with the Wyatt Six and Karrion Kross is helping the Miz. Now, without the Wyatt Six, what is the storyline?
Question. Good question.
I just want to say, I've always been just a huge fan of The Miz. And, yeah, you got to admit, like, I mean, how many years does he have left, honestly?
Oh, I'd say a lot.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. I easily see another 10, maybe 15 in The Miz. He's never been injured. He wrestles safe. He never does anything risk-worthy, which, again, is to his benefit because he knows how to get heat with a crowd or have the crowd cheer for him just by his mouth. He doesn't have to wrestle in a dangerous way or like a Darby Allin or like a Zack Sabre Jr. or like a Kota Ibushi or like a Kenny Omega to get the crowd going when all he has to do is open his mouth.
Yep. And that's what I love about him, man. He can get the crowd going. So do you guys think that he will be one of Cena's opponents in his final tournament?
He better be.
He has to be, man. Him and Orton, those two right there. And I even throw CM Punk in there. You know.
I feel like that was teased a lot over that Punk promo.
Yeah,
he kept on referencing Cena the whole promo, which I'm like, okay, so that is going to be down the pipeline if everyone's healthy.
Yep. But I just, for me, man, I just want to see the Miz like just have a good couple years, like some kind of run.
I want him to have what Jericho had when he came back the first time in '07.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it was like late '07, early '08, like that heel run where he was getting multiple world titles.
Yep.
That's the run I want for the Miz. I want him to have a multiple world title run. It doesn't have to be for the WWE Championship. It could be for the World Heavyweight Championship for all I care. But he needs something to go. Because I, like you, I love the Miz. Miz is awesome. You know, I wish all the best for him going forward.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Then the worst segment, in my opinion, because of one person, was this next segment, and it was Nia Jax confronted Rhea Ripley during her freaking promo.
Just
Can I take a guess? What was the? Oh, I'm sorry, Rico. Say that again.
I said, just by the way he said that, I feel like it wasn't good.
So I have to ask, what was the one? Like I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna say Bailey coming to help out Rhea was the worst part of this segment.
Hell no. All right.
Was it Rhea talking?
No.
No, really?
No.
I don't know.
Why in the unbelievable godly hell? How much longer do I have to watch some woman dressed in leopard suits that she should be wearing, and she can't talk to save her ass?
And there's a lot there to save.
And I'm sorry.
I got Rico on that one.
I'm sorry, but Nia Jax ruined what was a good promo. And oh my god, I love the ending because Bailey went to pick up that belt, and Rhea went like this, and Bailey went like this, and she watched that belt. She looked at that belt during that end of that segment. But for why do we need Nia Jax? And if she wins the freaking Royal Rumble, I'm going to stop watching WWE. If you're stupid enough to make her win the freaking Rumble,
that's my number one pick.
Oh my goodness!
Because we're gonna recreate Hogan and Andre from WrestleMania 3 with Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax.
Oh Jesus!
That is dumb. I won't.
Do I agree with you? Yes.
I will not watch that. Oh.
So, I love Jim Cornette when every time Nia Jax comes on. Because he keeps on saying, you put Sable's brain in that body.
Sure.
She has the same nasally midwife voice that Sable had. She's not that athletic in the ring. She's gotten better, but she's not, like Scott said, not that good. I mean, if I was single, I'd be trying, but that's besides the point.
I'm sorry. I'd be praying for you.
When I saw her come out in that leopard skin tight outfit, I'm like, oh, good thing we're on Netflix. I'm just like, damn.
Oh jeez.
But no, I truly think that it's one of two favorites at this point. We have Bailey entering the Rumble, winning, or we have Nia entering the Rumble and winning. And we're gonna have a rematch, or not a rematch, a remake of Hogan Andre from 3 with Rhea and Nia at Mania.
Now, question, because why was Bailey on Raw?
San Jose is her hometown.
That's right. Okay. I was just wondering because I'm like, she just won that triple or the Fatal 4-Way for the number one contenders.
Mm-hmm. I think that's something they're going to start doing from now on. If they're in a superstar's hometown or home state, whatever show it's on, they're gonna have the guy or girl there and be like, "Hey, we have this guy." Except for Obafemi, I mean, that was just to show off. Hey, we have NXT too. Which, by the way, that man is a monster. I don't know how any. Jesus, God, no.
That's a big boy right there. Man.
That's a big boy.
He can move, man.
That's the problem. Him versus Brock Lesnar? No.
Him versus Braun Breaker.
So then we finished the night off with probably the best. I thought it was the most entertaining part of the night. You had two people that hate each other, and you knew they hated each other after this match. Mm-hmm. Damian Priest defeated Finn Balor in a street fight. And oh my God, the broken arrow he took.
Mm-hmm.
Holy hell.
For a strong minute, I thought that match was over then. I thought they were like, oh shit, we actually hurt somebody. Uh-oh.
Well, then when, I think, didn't Finn miss a coup de grace on a table? Or he overshot it, and he hit it back on the corner of the table? I don't know if you've seen that.
I might have missed that.
Oh my God. These guys put each other through hell. And it wasn't done because they had Finn Balor on a gurney, on a stretcher, up the ramp. And Damian Priest is like, nope.
Can we talk about that spot for a second?
Yeah.
The fact that Damian Priest was able to push the gurney in the exact way it went, and Finn Balor hit it sideways and was even with the ring and rolled into the ring.
That was excellent.
I was like, this is live television. If you would have that up, you would have been so mad at yourself. I'm glad the gurney worked.
Yep.
I'm glad everything went to plan.
Those two guys, they worked good together. They put on a good match. Like you said, you had to. I said that to myself and said that was great timing, because the moment that gurney hit that ring, he rolled off into the ring,
Just
and I'm like,
perfect. It was flat. It was like it was seamless. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing. So.
Well, one of the things that reminds me of, I mean, I haven't seen it, but just you guys talk about, that reminds me of, you remember when Mysterio Ray was strapped to a gurney and Big Show.
Oh, and Big Show used him like a bat on the ring post. Yeah. And Ray, okay, so that's the worst one. I think that's the worst stretcher injury in the company, because they tied his hands down like this. He couldn't cover it. He couldn't put his hands up to cover his face. So when Ray gets hit like this on the ring post, falls flat, and Ray just goes face first onto the floor twice.
That's why I was like, that was gruesome, man.
I was like, this is insane. How did Ray say okay to this?
So
what the hell?
Cody's favorite person, my favorite person, Matt Rogers.
Yes, he is one of my favorite people, yes.
The cheap plug. He messaged me prior to the show. He says, ask this question to close the show.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask this question. We are now coming up upon Saturday night's main event.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the PLE in a couple weeks. This is verbatim how he texted me this message. Saturday night's main event is 1 week prior to the Royal Rumble PLE. Yep. And we already have 2 title matches on the Saturday night's main event card.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think it's a good thing to do that, or do you think it takes away from the big 4 PLE?
Like I told them over the phone, no.
I don't think it takes away from it, no.
It makes Saturday night's main event must-see.
Yep. because you don't know what could happen, especially
Right.
going to the Rumble.
And if the rumors are to be true, it'll be the first time since 2011 that we'll have 40 people Royal Rumble matches.
Wait a minute, 40 people?
Yep, that's rumored. It is rumored that this year's 2-match Rumbles will be featuring 40 contestants in each, plus a WWE ladder match.
Plus a ladder match?
Mm-hmm.
40. Ask yourself
That's your pay-per-view right there. You have 2 Royal Rumble matches, and in between you sandwich a WWE Championship ladder match. AKA, Scott was right! Cody's overshadowed!
I'm going to tell you this. I continue to be right. I'll be right. That's whatever.
If it's rumored to be true, and I'm okay with that, because they have a lot of people on the roster.
And they NXT as well.
Yeah.
And
you only have so many spots in 30.
Over.
Yeah, and then you have people in Impact that come over. So I don't know. If we have a 40-man Rumble and a 40-woman Rumble, that's going to be insane.
I better see Alexa Bliss come back.
And here's the problem with that. Now, you've now made a 60-minute match turn into an 80-minute match.
Yeah.
At least. Because in a 40, it's still at 2-minute intervals.
That's going to be...
So you've now gone from an hour to almost an hour and a half.
No.
And the greatest Royal Rumble had 50. And that went for a good almost 2.
This is why I don't like them to do that now. No, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
What? What do you mean? What do you mean, Scott? Who's gonna be more pissed off? You watching it or me watching it with a stopwatch, actually timing to see if the intervals are 2 minutes? Because I do that shit. I make sure that they are honest.
Dude, if you have that much time.
Oh, I do. I have more than enough time in my hands, and I don't know why.
In the ring.
So what I've been told by Bruce Pritchard is that the intervals go from when the buzzer hits to the next buzzer hits.
Okay.
So that's why there's sometimes it feels like intervals are longer than others and others are shorter than others because they're trying to get their moments in. The longest that I've seen so far, and I've been doing this since the 2020 Rumble when Edge returned, the longest I've seen was a 5-minute interval between entrances. And Edge, even when he came back, from him to 21, was only maybe 3 minutes. Because obviously he took it all in for the entrance, but it only took him 3 minutes in between.
So that was a question you wanted to close with the show. Again, as usual. It was a lot of storytelling. The whole night was a lot of storytelling. Setting up stories, and I hope they don't set up the story of Andre the Giant versus Hogan, Rhea Ripley versus fucking Nia Jax. I hope that's not the case.
Oh, speaking of Hogan, before I forget, there are rumors that they're thinking about bringing him for Saturday night's main event.
Bringing him?
Yeah. Do you think that's good or bad?
I love Hogan, so I think it's good.
Just everyone, I see videos of people just going crazy, like why he shouldn't be on there, like all the bad stories, wrestlers who are retired talking about him now, just all the bad things he did, and
I mean, it's San Antonio. You really think it'd be a Hogan crowd?
That's a Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, or Taker crowd right there.
I would like to see them bring Kyoto back. Go to the referee Kyoto. I think he'd be great to come back.
Yeah.
And ref a match. I do like that. Saturday Night's event, I do like what they're doing. I like the nostalgia they're trying to keep. I love what they're trying to do, and I'm all for it.
I love the classic Saturday night main event music.
100%.
I love it.
Right? That just reminded me, Hogan and Ventura would be in the same freaking building like the first time ever.
Wow.
Not be good.
The cameras better be on them all day long because I need to see that footage.
So, Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast, guys. Thank you so much, Rico. Thank you much, Cody. Thursday, there's nothing tomorrow. Thursday night we have The Cheese, an indie wrestler from Florida. He does more than just indie wrestle. But yeah, The Cheese will be on Thursday night. And due to my birthday being on Saturday, we had to reschedule our living legend, Lyra Zabisco, to Friday. So we're moving it to Friday. I know we got Friday Night SmackDown, but who gives a shit about Friday Night SmackDown?
Yeah, come watch us, Lyra Zabisco. Come on.
Watch Lyra Zabisco. We'll probably be on here for 3 hours. Come out, watch us. Talk, Larry. Lots to talk about. I've been digging into Larry's career, and I did not know half the stuff this guy has done.
Oh yeah,
oh my God, done a lot. So then we got I got a call. I got a phone number. Ahman Johnson sent me a text with Big Buddha, one of the headhunters, number.
That's cool.
I got to get a hold of him. I messaged him on Facebook. He said, "Yeah, call me." Blah blah blah. So that's in the works. So yeah, a lot of things going on, and that's what's going on here at Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. The place.
And also, don't forget Thursday afternoon, Thursday football. It's been now from Friday football to Thursday football. You'll hear Scott and Matt talk about the wild card weekend, what's coming up, and watching them build up their Detroit Lions to watch them lose to the Commanders.
Okay, can you mute him now?
I don't know what that jackass is talking about, but you and I can have a conversation.
I think he's been puffing on the Magic Dragon
your
over
ass. I think he had been puffing out that vape. I don't know what he's puffing on, but anyway.
But no, seriously, check out Thursday football, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock EST, 12 o'clock Central, on YouTube, Twitch, all the other live platforms that we have. And we are also audio version too. If you want to check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast Addict, Deezer Pod, Amazon Unlimited / Audible, and all your favorite podcasting availability channels, please hit the follow button, subscribe, like, share. We love you all.
Yeah, and we're out.